Welcome, 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 welcome. Happy day for trading and starting another session today. Welcome. Hi guys, welcome back. I hope that you guys can hear me. Thank you. And make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Beginning another trading day and week here. So starting with the calendar to see what is on the market. So we see that some news has been released earlier. CPI was positive, so we saw that there was a significant growth on CPI. On a UD and ZD, cash rate was on hold, so there isn't any change in the cash rate. And later today coming some other news on GBP, and also will be later tonight unemployment claims, so we will be trading that one as well. Here at the moment I'm looking at gold with this current movement that we can see. The market is pretty volatile, which is what expected at the end of the month. If you guys look at, we are almost nearing to the end of the month, so I think the price coming to a potential entry opportunity here. Now before we look at, this is now currently a strongly bull market if you look at on gold. And in that bull market, looking at entry, first of all, let's do a complete multiple time frame analysis. And we had a massive trade that you guys have seen that yesterday from this level, and the market is coming to the same level again. So I'm looking at, first of all, the bigger picture perspective here to see that where the market is heading. Now, looking at the daily chart, guys, ready for an entry anytime. We could see the market is hitting that daily support level, and that move that you can see one single drop back below currently on gold is basically it's coming downside here to this daily support level. So daily price action after yesterday's doji, as expected, the market has made its move back to the upside, and here is the price action. If you look at, the price has bounced back to that intraday support level, and it has got back to the upside. Yesterday also I posted an analysis, and that has in fact if you look at the market in fact moved almost in the same direction. So the trade also, I have shared some updates in the channel. If you guys missed it, then that I would highly encourage you to look at again to see that where the market is heading. So now as the price action is, if you look at that, significantly bullish. Now let's look at first of all that trending direction. We know that the market is showing bullish momentum, but is this bullish or is just a false breakout again and coming down for another drop? So understanding market structure will give you always a better edge in the market. So let's look at first of all the monthly chart to see that overall direction in this market. This is the monthly price action where there is a monthly support that you can see here, and looking at monthly now is very important because we are almost nearing to the end of the month. And when you are ending of the month, there is a possibility for a bounce back here, because as we are progressing towards the end of the month, the price is highly likely to retest this monthly high again and potentially to break that high, right? So looking at the weekly perspective, here is on gold, that from the weekly we can see the market here, it's maintaining that uptrending market structure. If you look at here, you can see the price was maintaining this series of higher low every single week. A big bull rejection followed by a doji, followed by big bull candle, and followed by every single week. The market is maintaining this uptrending market structure here. And going to the daily, as I mentioned, if you guys looked at yesterday's live session as well as analysis, this is what we discussed, that from the daily, there is a daily bullish engulfer that you have seen as printed here. And with this daily bullish engulfer, what happened? The market has, boom, bounced back to the upside here. With a bullish engulfer that has crossed this low, crossed this high, the price has crossed both 10 and 20 EMA, engulfing this previous quite a few daily dojis high, created a bullish impulse. Now, this market that you can see on gold on the daily is promisingly bullish, right? So the possibility here that the price to potentially cross this monthly high, this is the current monthly high, is higher. So in that case, the price might just have a strong breakout again, potentially to create a new all-time high. Now, at the moment, we are in a level where looking at potential. So here you can see there is around 1,000 pip away from the monthly high. And where I'm looking at, if you look at the 4-hour and the daily, this is where early Asian session, the market opened with a narrow gap and the price, boom, bounced back to the upside. At the moment, it's maintaining this uptrend, and there is a possibility now where we are looking at, because we are a day trader, right, and a scalper. Are you a scalper or a day trader? Let me ask you this question. I want to say that how many traders are different. So is it possible to drop to back to the previous daily doji level, then bounce back? I think you are to the point. This is what I'm going to explain, and then you guys, that's a very good understanding. This is what I'm looking at the moment. So share your thought. Are you a day trader or a scalper? Okay. Now, the previous daily doji that you can day trader. Okay, welcome. Anyone else different? Day trader. Okay. Day trader. Okay. Very good. Very good. Now, look, day trading is freedom. Well done. I'm a scalper. So they blur each other. Basically, they coincide each other. So you can say that this is day trading, this is scalping. Let me tell you what's the difference. So it's something like that, right? So it's almost in common, a large portion in common. So if you look at, this is day trading, this is scalping. Now, slight difference in day trading and scalping. What is that difference? Let's understand that. What makes a unique day trader and a scalper? The difference is that in day trading, more often traders use little higher time frames, such as the 15 minutes, so for an entry, or 5 minutes for an entry. All right, so this is what the day trader use. And day trader normally hold a trade. Let's say you open in Asian session, that trade might last long, up to a day, at the end of the day, or maybe go to the next day, because you are trading on 15 minutes and 5 minutes. Scalping is more of very, very tight. Scalper might get out of the trade within a minute. That can happen. Or maybe in 5 minutes you make all your money. Let me tell you how it happens. Is it possible? Let me show you that how the scalping work and how it makes a difference between the day trader and scalper. So when you are a scalper, you have to be ready with your tool. Never scalp on mobile phone, guys. If you are a scalper, you can day trade on mobile by doing the lot sizing, but never scalp on mobile phone. If you are a scalper, you must use a PC or laptop. So if you are scalping on 1 minute, what are you gonna do? Like this, for example, I open position here. So the market trend trading above 10 EMA and wait for this kind of bullish candle form, and you see the time on the right side, and this candle closing in 1 minute candle, let's say 50 second past or 55 second past. The price is here. You keep your stop loss here, and boom, you press the button buy. And as soon as you press the button buy, maybe next 1 minute candle, boom, bounce back to the upside like that. Your stop loss is here. This is scalping like that. And then boom, the price has gone here. What are you gonna do? Don't take profit, just move your stop loss at entry and let that go up a lot. Right? Because you will be using a very tight stop loss. Even if your risk is low, you have comparatively bigger lot, right? So what you need to do, little move, it's gonna give you a lot of profit from the single trade, and that's a scalping like that. But you have to have a strategy, and you can't consider each trade like an individual trade. You have to look at the bunch of trades, and emotional control is very important. Emotional detachment, that I would say, that from trading, not from anything else. Emotion is very important in terms of connecting with something. But if you want to be a trader, then you must be able to handle that. It comes with practice. If you are experienced, you automatically become good at it, right? And that's why this live session, and also that's why I share all my trades as well as the strategies in the premium group, is because of that reason, so that traders can learn through seeing the actual trade, which is the best way to learn. Applied knowledge is the most important part of becoming a trader. Right? So now let's look at the current market structure. Now this is where you're looking at the daily price action. Now daily price action is, this is the daily welcome. Now daily market structure here is bullish. Now lower shadow, if you look at the previous daily candle, as we discussed in our previous session as well, that this daily candle potentially be forming a daily doji. So that daily doji that we can see has both shadow on both directions. So it is also a retest candle. Retest candle, very important. So what do I mean by retest candle? Let's understand why it is important, a retest candle. A retest candle is very, very important, especially in a trending market. So a retest candle can be a very good level that you can look for keeping your stop loss or entry based on that. So we'll be discussing more on in depth in this live session about the retest candle. If you look at, let's say, when you see the market is reversing, right, you see that it might form kind of reversal pattern, which is a double bottom, double top, or any kind of reversal pattern formation like that. Okay, anything can happen. So it can be something like that. So any market will have a reversal that has to have there will be, not has to have, there will be more often you see the market will retest that resistance which is turning support here, and that resistance turns support is where the retest, because without retest you won't be able to know that either it was a false breakout or the very valid breakout, because in a false breakout you see the market will straight drop down back below and then continue to drop, or will go back again. So if you look at this daily candle, this long wick that we see, the lower shadow of this daily long wick is retest candle. So there is a buyers has bought this market in that area, and because the buyers bought this market, there is a possibility for a bounce. And today we saw that as soon as the market opened with some positive data on AUD, as AUD is also tied to the gold price, if you look at, we see there is a bounce. Now the question that one of you ask here, I think it's Gemstone. Okay, so is it possible to drop back to the previous daily doji level, then bounce back up? Now, one very important price action that we need to look at here. If you look at the lower shadow of this daily candle, how do you see that? You see, the lower shadow of the daily candle is very, very smaller. And when the market creates this kind of price action, you even might not see the price coming to test the daily low, even it can continue to rise back to the monthly high. It's a sign of stronger momentum. It's a sign of bigger volume. All right. So therefore, the market may not even come back to retest. You can keep that as a side note, but depending on the price action, you can see that whenever the price is dropping with a bigger candle, it's getting bouncing back to the upside. You can see this is the 5 minutes price action. There was a breakup structure and the price again. Now on the lower time frame, this is the 1 minute price action. It's creating a reversal pattern here. So this 1 minute price action that we can see here, it's potentially this drop that you can see. First of all, this is a fake drop. Fake drop means that any drop that is unusually big, you can consider that's gonna be unusual. Okay, that's gonna be potentially more often their reversal rather than continuation. Right, so that's universal. You'll see that any drop, you'll see that unusual, it's more often reversal rather than continuation. So as this drop that you can see, we'll be discussing later why it's so important. This 1 minute drop that you can see, that's a very unusual, because in this whole mob you won't find that much big drop in the opposite direction of the trend, right? So therefore this level can hold. Now if the market is coming to now break this level, we are looking at entry after rejection. There is a possibility now, because the market left some also gap here. So what it could do now, if you look at 30 minutes and other time frame, it may come to retest, or it creates a structure and bounce back again to the daily high. So today's high is here and it's a bull market. So we have drawn quite a few important levels here. And so the current level that we are looking at for potential buying is here. it still can continue to trend back to the upside from here. Yeah, so how the price action is forming is important. You see it's coming down again. So if we see that unusual drop back below, we will be looking at entry from this key support level. So would like to see this support is being retested or have extended below and then forming bullish price action. We can look at entry to the upside here, depending on, because there is a stronger bullish impulse that we have seen earlier on daily, and I think the price even may not retest the daily low. Instead, this is the 4-hour candle close coming. You can see on 3 minutes time, and that 4-hour also after this big bull candle, the market is not showing a very stronger bearish sign here. I'm ready for an entry at any point in time, just giving you an idea, but still not entering. You want to see proper price action confirmation before we look at any entry. So before the 4-hour close, if you look at the 4-hour candle coming close in 2 minutes time, after this big bull candle, this red candle can be a retest and then moving back again to the upside potentially. So you want to see that it's testing this zone here. It's almost there. The ATR on the 1 minute is 17 pip. So I will be going for a long position from here on gold, keeping stop loss below this support level. Stop loss, this is only 44 pips stop loss, keeping at 4144. So I'm long on gold, setting up for potential bounce. So here is I put a long position on gold with a very tight stop loss, expecting initial bounce back to the upside from this 4-hour candle close. Stop loss is very tight. So if the market breaks below, we will be straight going out with the trade. So here from the 4-hour candle close, expecting that the market to potentially have a rejection. So from this previous low, we are only 17 pip below this level for a possible bounce back to the upside in this market. And 4-hour candle closed already, and we see some upside bias here. And so 150 pip profit target here on this trade. So I'm long on gold for 164 point, and looking at possible a bounce here. And because very tight stop loss, as soon as the market will be able to break any of this important high here, we can close 20%, little bit of profit for commission and all of that, and then we can move the stop loss at entry. So basically, as the market will break this 4154, we will be moving stop loss at entry with partial closure. So the 4-hour candle close here with a big red candle. Now, what we are expecting that because it's a bull market, the price to potentially revisit that session's high. And that's where we are on this trade here. And this is what I was talking about, guys, that the market, if you look at this price action here, there was a significant break below here, and you can see the price has shown that there is a possibility for a new higher high. So there is a reversal pattern formation here, which might push the price back up. My entry was a little late, but I am on it. Welcome. Big sales coming. It's bouncing back. As soon as it's gonna cross 4154, we will be taking, boom, we are up with this one. That's great. 51 pip up. So I'm taking partial profit and moving the stop loss at entry. I'm closing little bit of profit here, around 30%, and moving the stop loss at entry. We might still can risk of getting break even, but I will keep it holding. The trade is break even. Stop loss moved at entry. Now this market can come to retest this support. If it drops back below, we are out with the partial profit, but in that case we will be looking for re-entry again with the new setup. But at the moment I'm expecting it to bounce back again to the upside here. Awesome. We can let that market to potentially move that back up if it cross this high here. If it is crossing this high, we are looking at, we will be trailing along the way if the market managed to successfully break this swing high here. By the way, if you haven't liked this stream, that I would appreciate if you smashed it. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, you can do so. There is every day there will be analysis that I'm posting on the channel, along with also 2 times live session that coming on live to trade the market. This I'm doing for a very long period of time, so I love that. If you guys love trading, so make sure that you put the love by popping that button. Thank you. Now this is the crucial point. This is the crucial level. If the market breaks below, we will be exceeding partial profit, but in that case we might see that further downside for today, but it still can bounce back up because it's a highly bull market. It's a beginning stage of this bullish trend here in this market. So there is a doji formation on the 5-minute chart. And you see that what kind of market price action it is forming. We might get here. Still I'm on this. Okay, I'm out with the partial profit. And I'm out with the partial profit. We will be re-entering once the market shows up again. Possible another move here. Depending on your spread, some of you might be still on the trade, but I'm out. And the market is just getting rejected again from here. We'll see that what kind of market structure is trying to form. It might be an entirely liquidity sweep. We can look for entry again depending on the price action. We have gain here 53 pip. We'll be recording that on the journal. Can you go for free entry? The market, the volume little dropped here, so I'm waiting to see that it might move little sideways. If you look at the 4 hour now, if you look at the 4 hour, you can see that once the candle close, the market has bounced back to the upside. Now one possibility can happen that the market to break this session's low and then returning back to the upside. The other possibility is maintaining this uptrend. So far here looking like that it's gonna potentially to continue to bounce, but for us just to get another entry, we are looking at to see how the market structure is, because you see that it's creating a trend line here now, right? And it might try to break this trend line before it eventually take off. So when the market creates a long wick like that, creates trend line, is basically at some point you see that it's gonna go up and then could drop back again with a one single impulse and then going back up to the resistance line. So it's on a sideway at the moment. We are looking at entry. Mine is closed at partial profit because though I entered late. Are you guys running? My entry was late, so I got out with the partial profit. So my entry was little higher than this, so that's why I'm out. Probably your trade is still on. If your entry is lower, it should be still on. So I got out with my entry was 4151.38. Entered here. This was my entry, so I got less move here. That's fine. We'll be re-entering again. So it's on a sideways. So currently at the moment, so this sideway market is basically creating a structure to break and then to continue. So if you look at here, that potentially could break below and then trend again upside. Yes, I do. We do have premium Telegram channel as well as the free Telegram channel. If you guys want to get access to all the trades that I'm opening as well as education and analysis, you can. There is a if you look at the website link below this video where you can all the strategies that I'm trading, education as well as all the courses are listed on the website. You can visit the website for more updated as well as education that you can find that I'm posting every day. And also there are free education on the website. You can get access to that by visiting the website. So don't miss out that part, because learning, the knowledge is power. So the more you learn, the more you will grow. So you can find link below this video, the second link for the website you can visit. And then currently few spots open to take on the mentorship. So check out the website link below this video here. And trading is all about knowledge and self-discipline. Okay. Knowledge gained through experience and education. Trading is simple if you have the simple strategy. All the strategies that I trade, very simple and rule-based. Rule-based strategy where you're gonna see the actual results, because market is very, very random. Okay. And especially in the beginning, it happens that you might see that every trade that you are opening, you're gonna see that there is an entry, right? It might feel like that. Especially the emotion takes over. And sometime, if you're trading for some time, you know that sometime you're gonna, the rational mind shut down and the traders become very, very difficult to understand what. Send me your website, please. Welcome. So you can find link below here. I can share the link on the live chat. So once you're on the website, you can click join now button where you can. Here's the website link. You can visit the website and then click join now button where you can get access to everything. Now, you see the market is narrow, creating a sideway, and it's approaching this trend line that we are talking about, right? Now, this trend line that you can see, that trend line is where once the market breaks the trend line, you can see the 4-hour support, the previous session's support. And once the market managed to break that low, creating a new lower low, we'll see that how the market reacting to that. I would like to delete the levels because the market structure changes. This is the current price action that you can see. The 30 minutes candle is closing, right? And there's a starting of earlier move. This is the daily move that we have seen, and one single bounce drop, another move dropped well below. Now this can be starting up a new move because there is a deeper pullback. This can be for deeper drop here, but I'm biased still to the upside. Let's see what's happened. All right, so we took the first trade on the direction. Now here, looking at now, this market is still can come back down here. In that case, we could see the daily support test. The way daily candle open, if you look at here, you can see this is the daily candlestick pattern open, right? And there is no wick at the bottom. Attention to detail is key, guys. So if you look at the smaller detail, but that carries a lot of significance. Let me tell you why it is important. If you look at the weekly, you see this weekly price action. See how it happened? The same kind of wick, right? I've circled it. Reading a price action is really, it's kind of art. Look at this weekly candlestick pattern and see the very smallest shadow, and there was a big bull move, right? So, and then the next week, the market exactly touched that level, and the market again had a big breakout. So that means that's a very, very important demand zone. Now, so looking at this trend line now, it's coming back to break below. Now today's price action, if you look at the lower shadow, is the same kind of bullish impulse. So this support is difficult to break. Therefore, nearing to that support, the buyers will come and will try to buy. Now, why it's so important? Let's understand also the reason behind it. Why this kind of opening signals stronger bullish impulse. We'll be looking at that one here. And before that, let's see that what's happening here. Now, if this support breaks, if the market doesn't hold here, which is still possible, in that case, looking at here to the daily low, and that's gonna be another important area of value that you can look for buying. Right? If the market drops really to the daily low, which is not easy to happen, but if it happens, it's gonna be a big buy opportunity. Always keep your risk low when you are opening position, and okay, so here the market is, I think there is a possibility for bullish continuation here, because it is still maintaining that uptrend here, and therefore looking at possibility to come down further before it started to bounce back up. Do you think the market is going to hold this support and bouncing back, or you think that the market is going to break this support and continue to trend? What's your thought on that? There is a rejection coming here. First break this trend line and then go out. Yeah, so I think the market is, if you look at here, you can see that long wick. So every time the market is coming down here, bulls are, that means buyers are buying. So this trend line is important. Now breaking from this trend line, or even without, because already we see a couple of times the market has broken the trend line. You can see here is a trend line break. Here is a trend line break. So it's still possible to remain entirely to the upside from this level. Now, because there is already significant drop here in that market in the beginning. We can use the pending order again for this breakout if the market breaks above, as it form this structure, which is the daily triangular pattern, and there's a drop here. The market has, normally this kind of pattern breaks below first before it entirely move in the direction of the trend. So the bias here is still to the upside for long-term directional move. Want to see a volume. That means the biggest secret of trading this kind of market, guys, is this. Always in an uptrend, look for breakdown. Right? So there are some of the things that you can keep attention. So for example, when you see an uptrending market created like this, okay, an order block, breakout, breakdown. extended below, created a green candle, very good opportunity to go long like that. Right, see again, it's gonna change the way you look at the market. Okay, consolidation or a structure formation, breakout, breakdown, extending back below, green candle formation, buy. Okay, here buy, structure formation, initial breakout, retest with a false breakdown. All right, and keep an edge. Any instrument that you trade in any time frame, check out what I said and you find it over and over again. Now here, what's happening here? Look at this. So there is a structure formation here, right? Now this is what we are talking about. The structure is formed here. This is a structure formation. Now there is a breakout. In what situation we can look for buy here? Let the market overextend back below here. And then once it form green candle, that's a very good buy. Not buy, buy. Very similar kind of word. Now, stop loss below this low. Let's see that if that structure, that's market is forming that for us. Yeah, this is what I think Sihina. This is what exactly it is. First break this trend line and then go out. That's so before breaking the trend line, we want to see that it's breaking above here. Ready for an entry? I'm ready for an entry as we outlined. Once the market creates similar kind of setup, you won't find always how you think. That's why trading is very different, because the market may not give you always the perfect setup. Okay, imperfection is the perfection in the market. The market is always, there will be some variation. That's why the better trader are those who understand the variations, because it's not maths, right? You're not gonna see always 1 + 1 = 2. And that's why they're forming a rule-based strategy sometimes is very hard in this market. This market will be good buy if the price, all those candles become red and drop here and then bounce. It still can continue to bounce here, but I don't see a very stronger bullish price action in this area here. So currently the price above this structure here, And because the market is above this structure, it's trading above this level. If it extend back below that structure, it's gonna be oversold. And in the meantime, guys, did you enjoy the live session? Are you enjoying? We are still have a long way to go. We have also the NY live, and this live also will be extending further for more entry. The only thing that requires patience and focus, right? And in the meantime, if you haven't liked this analysis, this live session, make sure you do that. And also don't miss out to subscribe to the channel. And for more updates, education, analysis, also you can check out the link in the description for more valuable content that you can find here. In the free Telegram channel, I do share many of the trade ideas. You can stay connected by joining there. And if you want to know more about the strategy that I'm trading and also be part of premium group, you can visit the website. You can find link below this video, www.forextradingwizard.com. Awesome. So you can see some movement back to the upside here in this market, and so it's showing that the market to remain potentially to the upside here. Okay, if this break here is a straight below, we'll be waiting for a green candle formation before we look for buy. Simple strategy. I'm still holding my buy. Okay, great job. Anyone? Because my entry was late and that's why I got out. I think because the market, when we started, I took late entry. The market was well below, and that should be still holding if anyone entered earlier. But in case out, that's fine. We will be re-entering again. We had partial profit taken. That's what it is. You could run it, but there is a risk of again coming down to take you out of the trade. Rather, entering into a high probability is a good idea. Because now it maintained an uptrend. That means here the market now could continue to bounce back to the upside. So it's showing a bullish momentum. And from the daily also you see that there is a bullish impulse back to the upside earlier. So the market structure supporting that bullish move on gold here. exit at 4146, sold now. No, I'm not gonna be a seller at the moment in this market. It's a highly bull market, so not a good idea to be a seller. Rather, we could see that bullish trend continuation. You can see the market whenever coming down, getting bullish bias. My trade is still active. Okay, so if you trade active, and I think it's a good idea to hold on because our target was there. I'm looking at entry. This is a scalping candle, but I'm not going into it because we are looking at the entry at this level here. So the market structure now so far showing up to be potentially bullish here, that you can see, and quite a few long week candlestick pattern is being formed here. This is the 5 minutes price section, and the current support level that I'm looking at for the price to potentially come back and retest is this. And it may continue to remain bullish the way the market is forming. We use the Bollinger Band. That's very, very effective also. We see the market is in fact maintaining that uptrend here, and It's crossing from this lower band to the upper band, and so the candle close timing is very important. If you look at, we saw there was a candle close, and as soon as the market closed this candle, the price managed to break out here, and that is where price potentially to return again back in the direction of the trend. We could see that continuation. So therefore now it created this current support, current trend line. Breaking at or below here is an opportunity to go long for us to see. Thank you. We see some volume coming in the market, and that is good to see. It's maintaining that. Now, if you guys looked at in the beginning of the session, this is what I was talking about, that when you see that unusual drop, take into consideration. And you see that the market has started to move from that level. When you see the unusual drop, especially against the trend, you can see the bounce or drop in the direction of the trend. That means daily trend or 4-hour trend. But if you see that kind of move against the trend, so this is an against the trend, daily prevailing trend is bullish. And this kind of move, opposite direction of the trend, is a sign of reversal. Directional bias is very important, okay? Once you are correct directionally, you are more than halfway there. It's moving that back to the upside here. Okay. It has broken back to the upside here from that level. There's a massive rejection here, and because in the past there was a break below here. Now there's still possibility for this kind of another drop. So there is a potential break of structure that you can see how the market reached that key level, and one hour candle close coming in 4 minutes time, possibly to again for another pullback deeper. Left an order block here. Understanding key level also important if you are trading at any time frame. So what level to look at, because every time the market is changing based on the new market structure. You can't fix a level for a very long period of time. Now looking at calendar coming, there's a high impact news on Gbpjpy, which is autumn forecast statement. Look at here, details of that. This document provide an update, economic outlook, and previews the government's budget for the coming year, including expected spending and income levels, borrowing level, and financial objectives. It also contains comments on the latest independent economic forecast prepared by OBR. This is going to be an important for Gbp, because that statement will provide all the details about the borrowing capacity and all of that, and that's how the currency will be evaluated for the next year. Because if the inflation is high, Gbp might get weaker in that case, because if the borrowing capacity is high, that means there will be higher spending, and that's gonna in fact create more pressure on the currency, and at the same time there will be more jobs, there will be more economic activity. So that is why this kind of forecasts are considered as a high impact news. So that's coming later in our NY session live that we will be looking at. And then followed by, there will be unemployment claims. So the forecast for unemployment claims is 226k. The previous one actual was 22k. So there is a little higher forecast. And that will also determine the direction of DXY. If you look at DXY, if you look at the previous daily price action, on DXY, there is a daily bearish engulfer. And when you see this daily price action on DXY, bearish engulfer, if you look at the weekly, also from this high, the market has got that rejection back below. If you look at the monthly, also you can see that there is we are almost nearing to the end of the month. And this DXY monthly candlestick pattern is important because this will give us a lot of information on what might happen on gold, guys. This is very important because see the high, the current monthly candle, the previous one, this is the recent resistance line that you have seen. The price has crossed that, tested this level and 10 EMA, and then what happened? The market rejected from this higher price, and at the level now where the market opened its price, so it's a doji. Now even this price closing as a doji, the possibility for the next month also to be bearish. Why? Because it revisited a very important liquidity zone where there has been selling pressure here in that market. And with that selling pressure, the price eventually coming back below to this, potentially to this support level here. So that even it could come back below or at least to this previous order block. So there is a possibility for downtrend on DXY. Now if DXY having that downtrend, then gold is eventually could be in an uptrend here. So that is giving a possibility for an uptrend continuation on gold further back to the upside. You see there is another rejection here on in this market to the upside. So there is a crossover of 10 and 20 EMA here on the 55 minutes. and as well as the 15 minutes. It's maintaining that uptrend here. DXY equal to gold, DXY down, gold up, DXY up, gold down. That's what the effect on, because you see this watermark here, that will tell you everything. So gold spot against US dollar. All the currency do like that, right? So if you look at USD JPY, if you keep even JPY price constant, let's say JPY moving completely in a sideways, there is no move in JPY. But depending on dollar strength, if dollar weaker, even JPY not moving, still you can expect an upside bias. Right, so that's how the market does. Just keep pushing back to the upside here. So this breakdown that you can see on gold, basically this breakdown has given a higher probability for now creating a new higher high. So this is a very strongly bull market at the moment. We are looking for break of any of this important support. So the level changes now. The current level that you will be looking for any break this support here. If the market breaks this low with a one single drop, we will be looking to go long here. Because it's trending, it gained momentum, and the possibility here now to create a new higher high is higher. So it's maintaining this uptrend here in that market. So I'm holding on to that for possible lower time frame breakdown. There is a very strong momentum. When the market is going like that, you just need to wait for the price to come back below to the support level. Patience is key. Now it's almost crossing this current high, the daily high. So after break of this daily high, we may see that another pullback here, and it's very strongly bullish. That means the next pullback can be at the intraday, any of this support level, for us to look for that entry. Also, it is possible that the market again coming for a retest of this 4-hour support. Right, so that also possible, and if that's the case, it's gonna be a very good entry. And this is what I'm looking at this session, because the 4-hour candle already created an impulse back to the upside and didn't test this lower shadow of this support here. And this market is a highly bullish. Now any breakup structure is where we are looking at for us to enter in a buy trade. So some of the levels that you will be looking at for breaking, this is the recent swing low, which is 4156. If the market straight drop back below to that level, is an area that you can look for entry. And you're progressing towards the NY session. Dollar index, if you look at, it's now, dollar is bearish. That you can see previous session there was a daily open with a gap and then bearish move followed by little pullback. So the market structure that you can see on dollar is bearish. So that bearish market structure on dollar is basically pushing gold back to the upside that we can see. Because it's just the opposite. Okay, so we are almost nearing to the end of the session. Another successful session. We had a partial trade. The market has moved back to the upside, and I'm looking forward to enter some more entry after the market come back to this level. So current level that I'm looking at, this 4156 to break below before we look for any entry. If that level breaks with a bigger ATR candle, we will be looking to go long again. And in the meantime, guys, in an hour, if there is better opportunity, also I'm going to update in the channel. I do post regular analysis. So if you are here, then make sure you also watch that to see what the latest update in the market. And coming up also NY session live in just a matter of 3 hours, coming on live after this short break. We'll see you there again trading. If you're passionate about trading, then don't miss that, because learning trading means that you actually learn to sit and watch the chart and then find the setup as soon as it appears. Thanks for joining here. I will see you again very soon. Until that, stay well.